Hello, it's Eli again with our Director of Pop Culture, Travis Landry.
Howdy, everybody.
You'll see that we're covered in robots right now.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a auction coming up this April that has a lot of amazing robots in it, right? Just Japanese robots, just from everywhere, right?
Everything. So coming up in our April 4th comic and toy sale, yes, there's going to be comics out the wazoo, but there is also an unbelievable collection of robots. Now, I know you're going to see a lot of variety right here because we're looking at 90s Beast Wars. We have a 1960s Yoshia high gear robot, and then we also have some really great late 70s Japanese character tin. So for every robot collector, whether you're a kid of the 80s and the 90s, or you're an older gentleman that likes the fun tin lithography of the 60s and 70s, we have that collector basis covered.
So how did you originally get into all of this robot stuff?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't want to say I could write a book because nobody would read that book, but my true love is Transformers, and my first toy of all time was a 1985 Generation 1 Jetfire, which was produced 10 years before I was even on this planet, but it was the first Transformer toy I had ever got my hands on. And, it's like, that's like the gateway drug to the robot world, because you go from looking at Optimus Prime and Megatron to like, whoa, this is G, and whoa, this is Ground Zell from Iron Man Kaiodine. It's like, those aren't even shows that are on in this country, but in the 70s and the 80s, a lot of kids, they were syndicated, they were dubbed over. So you really see when it comes to robots, it's like this big amalgamation of a pool where there's so much interlap, because this G toy was produced by Takara, which Takara was the parent company in partnership with Hasbro to making the Transformers, taken from the Diaclone and the Microman line. So, I mean, I could rattle endlessly, but
yeah,
they're awesome.
I know you love Transformers, and it seems like, not a downgrade, but a definite jump between Jetfire to something like this, and I've seen you all week winding them up. Yeah. They're on your desk. You're just as excited as if you had an Optimus Prime that was rolling out as you are about these guys.
Well, so that's the thing. When it comes to Japanese market-specific toys, not necessarily the Yashisawa, Nomura, Yanazawa, there's so many crazy Japanese names. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation. But the thing is, with these character tin, they weren't necessarily imported to the United States on a grand scale. So there's like, for all the Massachusetts homies out there, Mr. Big's Toyland. I only wish I was alive in that time period, because this is where you would have went to buy toys like that. So Japanese market exclusive toys, just like Japanese market exclusive Transformers like Victory Saber, Star Convoy, Overlord, they're very tough to get in this country. So with something that's tough to get in this country as it is, imagine how hard it is to find one that's nearly unused with the original box, all the inserts that are in it.
Still working.
Yeah, it's still working. So there's a whole selection of key wind, battery op, tin friction. And I mean, these are just two little examples right here, but there are some unbelievable rarities in there for sure.
So what would you say is the holy grail of these robots for you? Like that one that you're chasing, you want to find it.
So I'm going to answer this question in 3 parts.
Okay.
My personal holy grail, and it's not even necessarily, I think, is the coolest robot, but just the history of it was Generation 1 Transformers. They released something called the VSX gift set, which was Optimus Prime versus Megatron in one box with windows. They were in robot mode. It's absolutely beautiful. Today's market, if it was hypothetically pristine, complete, I see that easily trading anywhere from $12,000 to $16,000 in that range conservatively. Now, I'll answer that question. If I was coming to our April 4th comic and toy sale, the holy grail in my mind is, we don't have it on the table, but you do have to check out the catalog, is that there is a Mirror Man produced by Bullmark. So Mirror Man was a spin-off of Ultraman, and it is a key-wind, tin-walking robot similar to these, but the really cool feature was it had a vinyl mask that was a separate accessory that you could peel off the character, and it would remove the Mirror Man head, and you would see the human form beneath him. Now that robot is dead mint, all the inserts. I mean, if we're going to talk old school toy lingo, it is C9 plus. It is absolutely pristine. That's estimated at 700 to 1,000 coming up on the 4th. And I mean, that's just one. There's, a UFO Diapolon, where a UFO Diapolon Bullmark tin might not necessarily be ultra rare, but it's the most pristine example I've ever seen. I mean, I want to lick it, but I don't want
because you don't want it to lose.
Yeah, but I won't lick it because I don't want anything to happen to the surface. But you could eat off of this robot, and scaling it down from the high-end, crazy Japanese names. We had a great factory collection right out of Lowell, Massachusetts, my old stomping grounds, going to UMass, of Beast Wars, all factory sealed in cases from the deluxe class all the way up to these ultra combiners.
Mm-hmm.
And they do show that they were in a basement. The boxes are slightly warped, but they are all perfect. There's very little shelf wear. I mean, you can see just on the side, it looks like the motion of the ocean on the back of that box.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's still a pristine, beautiful example where we're actually selling the Magnaboss and the try saying that word fast. Tripredicus. So the Magnaboss and the Tripredicus, they're one lot in the upcoming sale, estimated $200 to $300. Starting bid is $100. And Beast Wars, in my opinion, is a toy line that is only going to skyrocket in the next 3 to 5 years. Heavy speculation with a movie going on. So it's definitely a good time to put away those key Beast Wars figures that are factory sealed and pristine.
Yeah, I would love to see it. Transformers plus Lion King. It'd be great. It'd be so good. Yeah. So one question, one thing I wanted to learn. You said C9 plus. What does that mean? Is that the grading scale for?
So that is like old school when I first started, and I say when I first started getting into the business. I'm only 24. But like when I was just eager, 12, 13, 14 years old, and you read these descriptions, and this is before, AFA and CAS and all these big grading companies were really in full swing. You'd look at a toy, and a guy would be like, it's like a C8, condition 8, an 8 out of 10. And you look at it's totally subjective and up to the, the eyes of the beholder.
Of course.
Now, I put that old school condition lingo into our catalog because I give, C7.5, C8.5, or maybe a C9 plus if it's really nice. Mm-hmm. But then I give a super descriptive analysis of light scratching to the feet, light rub marks to the back, working. So we give the full rundown. So if you read the catalog, it actually gives you a great idea of how to properly catalog tin toys. Because I don't want to say there is an art to it to be kind of funny, but it's just people want to know what they're buying. Having the right description can be the difference of getting $150 or $400 for a robot.
Gotcha. And that will be all those descriptions will be in our catalog for the April auction?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Make sure to check out the catalog, bidlive.brunoco.com. Also, Google Play, iTunes. Make sure to download the Bruno & Co. app. Follow along on the fun with the auction. And there's going to be some really cool toys and comics. Can't forget the comic love because that's always a mainstay, the catalog. But you're definitely going to want to check it out.
Awesome. So we learned about robots. What was this guy's name again?
Tripredicus.
Tripredicus is part fly, part lobster, part beetle.
Isn't it ridiculous?
And we learned that today. So thanks for watching the video. We'll be back with another one soon.
Thank you.
That's BRUNEAU.